and I hope people will come out and vote for Lee Zeldin for governor and for me for Congress, because we need to have a balance restored in New York and the country. We have seen too much how under one-party Democrat rule, the pendulum has gone too far to the left. So many radical policies that are hurting us on the streets, right? Deteriorating public safety. Our border is not secure. We have an economic crisis. Inflation is crushing American families. Increased food costs and gas costs. And we also are seeing so many people upset with the direction of our country. And so Tuesday is the opportunity to fix it. Tuesday is the opportunity to restore a balance, to restore common sense, to restore public safety. And I hope that everyone in your community will go out and vote, because Republicans, we have solutions. But under one-party rule, unfortunately, we cannot pass our solutions. And I know the Russian community appreciates what I'm saying right now, because when many of them fled communism. My mother fled Cuba. We know what it's like when one party controls everything, and we need to restore a balance and the voice of the people in New York and in Washington.
Nicole, if you can describe in one sentence what was happening for the last 2 years, how would you describe it?
Well, in the 2 years that have passed under one-party Democrat rule, we're seeing our border no longer secure. We're seeing millions of people entering into our country illegally, including those who are smuggling fentanyl and other drugs, killing 100,000 Americans. We are seeing unsustainable spending from the Democrats that have led to inflation. We are seeing anti-energy policies that have created a situation where we're going to have the most expensive heating bills this summer, but we're seeing utility increases in food costs. And we're seeing crime in America's cities. 1 out of 86 people here in New York City are the victim of a major felony crime. So we have the opportunity to change it. We have the opportunity to elect someone for governor who will fix the bail law. That's Lee Zeldin. We have the opportunity to revamp and restart and increase American energy production. That's by electing people like me, Republicans, to Congress, so we can stop President Biden's policies. We have the ability to secure our border. We have the Border Security for America Act, which is completing the construction of the wall from President Trump, but also giving the Customs and Border Patrol agents what they're asking for: more staffing, more resources, more technology to defeat the drug cartels that are smuggling drugs and humans into our country. So we have a lot of opportunity to correct things and get on the right track. As you know, 3/4 of Americans are saying we're on the wrong track, and it's because we have one party controlling everything. So vote Republican on Tuesday so we can have a balance once again.
All right, a lot of people asking, like, okay, I'm going to vote for Republican. When I'm going to see the results of them?
So what the damage that the Democrats have done to the country in just 2 years is significant, and it's going to take us a while to get back on track. But we can tell you, first day, we want to pass legislation that will repeal Joe Biden's 87,000 IRS agents that are meant to harass businesses, harass residents, the middle class, like the people listening. We are going to stop this unsustainable spending. We're going to get responsible with the taxpayer money. That's going to help us address some of the issues we're facing with a debt and inflation. We're going to push for energy independence, all right? We don't want to rely on our adversaries for our energy needs. We are seeing right now how Europe is beholden to Vladimir Putin for energy needs. We cannot allow that here in the United States. We can't rely on Iran and Venezuela. We must produce our own energy. It is a matter of economics. It's a matter of national security. It's a matter of helping American families. Now, the issue is, it all depends on how things shake out on the election. If we take the House and Republicans also take the Senate, then we have a lot more leverage to push back and stop this administration. If we only take the House, then the bills that I'm talking about now will pass the House, but they may be stopped in the Senate. We need both the House and the Senate to to flip Republican, and then we are really in business. We really have the opportunity to push back, to stop this administration and start reversing it. But of course, it's going to take time, to reverse it, but we're going to be on the better track to get things back where it should be.
Like I was saying, these election Republicans basically should not do anything, like for any smart person with the common sense. You can basically just look around and see what is going on the Democrat Party, controlling our state, our government. But you are still like running against Max Rose. That's the second time you're running against him.
Yes, I'm running against Max Rose.
Yeah, and you didn't mention his name a single time during we're speaking. You're not afraid of him at all?
Well, we're not afraid of Max because we beat him once, and I believe with the support of the people, we will beat him again because we've done a good job in Washington fighting for the American people. Look, Max Rose marched against our police in front of the 122 precinct in Staten Island. He supported the disastrous bail law. He supported Bill de Blasio's plan to close Rikers Island and build jails in communities, including Brooklyn. He's wrong on these policies. He supports open borders. He supports sanctuary cities. He supports Biden's inflationary spending. So he is wrong on all the issues. We are right on the issues, and President Trump has endorsed me. Every single New York Police Department union, NYPD union, has endorsed me. They know that I'm the person standing for secure borders, for public safety, for smart and economic policies, and respecting the taxpayers. And that is why I believe we will win again. But people have to come out to vote. Right now we're seeing low turnout in early voting. We need people to come out and vote because especially my race is close, but the governor's race is very close. And if we want to end Democrats' control over New York, then we need to get out and vote for Lee Zeldin. And early voting has started. So people should get out this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, from 9 to 5. People can vote. And then again on Tuesday. So vote one of those days and get out there and have your voices heard because it is so important that we win these seats. Now, President Trump is going to be doing a tele rally for me on the phone. We'll be reaching out to people. If they're in my district, they'll receive a phone call from me and the president on Saturday. But it is so important that we restore balance to preserve this country. So many people fled other countries to achieve the American dream, and they don't want to see those same policies that they fled brought here. But that is exactly what we're being seeing from the Democrats. In fact, we worked hard to stop their attempts to pack the Supreme Court like they did in Venezuela. We worked very hard to stop their attempts to change our election laws. We worked very hard to stop their $5 trillion inflationary spending bill and also to stop their anti-police measures that they tried to bring to the federal level. So things could be much worse. Thankfully, we had Republicans like me that were there fighting to stop a lot of these bad policies. But the only way we're going to reverse it is if we flip the House of Representatives and the Senate Republican. And then we really have the ability to hold President Biden and his administration accountable.
How you agree with that the Republican who stays at home on November 8th, he votes for Democrats? Is it correct?
That's correct. Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden love the Republicans who don't vote. They love those Republicans because they're helping them stay in power. And that I think is, and by the way, Governor Kathy Hochul, who is responsible for the crime wave we're seeing because she refuses to fix these laws that are releasing career criminals onto our streets. She loves Republicans and independents and common sense Democrats who stay home and don't vote because that's how they're going to win, right? That would be their plan, to discourage people from voting. That is why it's so important that everyone comes out and votes. We see how close the elections are, and we need to make sure we have ballot security. We have people at the poll sites making sure that everything is being conducted according to the law and properly. We need people to come out and to vote if we are going to end the one-party Democrat rule that has created every crisis that we're facing right now. Don't be one of the Republicans that Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden love. Be one of the Republicans that, Donald Trump and Nikol Meliotakis and Lee Zeldin need to get over the top in this year's election.
Nicole, when re-elected, what will be your first legislature that you're going to push for?
Well, we need to secure our borders. I'm a co-sponsor of the Border Security for America Act. It is common sense policies that President Trump put in place that secure our borders and give our border agents the tools that they need. That bill we have written and ready to go, but Nancy Pelosi will not allow it for a vote. That is why we need Republicans to take the House to pass that bill. Then we're going to repeal the 87,000 IRS agents. This is big government. This is an expansion of government to go after middle-class families and small businesses. We want to stop that, so we want to repeal that. We also have a Parents' Bill of Rights. Parents have the right to know what their children are being taught in our schools.
That's amazing.
They have a right, a say in that curriculum, and we want to pass the Parents' Bill of Rights to let school districts and cities across America know that they have to engage parents. And this is important because we're seeing indoctrination in our schools. We're seeing little children being taught about sexual identity when they're 10 years old, being told that they can be a boy or a girl. And it's wrong that parents are being subjected to their children are being subjected to this without parental consent. So we need to make sure that for family values, for making sure children are being taught correct history, okay, our real history, not revisionist history. We need to make sure that we pass the Parents' Bill of Rights. So these are just some of the bills that we already have ready to go. We have a whole agenda. People can go to commitmenttoamerica.com and see what the Republicans are offering. We have real solutions, not what, and it's by the way, very different than what the Democrats have done for the last 2 years. We want to take the country and put on the right track. So a lot of it, you'll see a stark contrast between what the Democrats are offering and Republicans are offering. So go to commitmenttoamerica.com and see.
And the last question, how we can bring the business back, those like high-paying Texas companies who left during the pandemic and the poor management by the Democratic Party?
This is why there's such a unique opportunity for New York right now. We've never seen a governor's race in 30 years. We have not seen a governor's race this close. So this is why it's critical for everyone to come out to vote. We cannot have people like Kathy Hochul and the Democrats who keep spending money, and asking the taxpayers for more to pay for it. They gave stimulus checks to those who were in the country illegally. They have given health care to those who are in the country illegally, free college tuition to those who are in the country illegally, instead of helping American citizens. And as a result, they're asking you, the taxpayers, to pay more. And that is why we are seeing New Yorkers leave. They're going to Florida. They're going to Texas. They're going to other states. If people who are listening, like Ron DeSantis and the way he's running Florida, right, which is attracting so many New Yorkers to live there, we should be electing Lee Zeldin for governor because he will be a similar governor and have that same attitude of helping our small businesses, respecting the taxpayers, making sure we restore public safety, and have common sense again in the state of New York. If we want New Yorkers to stay, if we want businesses to stay, we got to make our streets safe. Businesses are leaving because their employees don't want to take the subway to come to work. People are leaving because they're afraid to walk in their own city. And Kathy Hochul's solution is what? To charge you $23 to drive into Manhattan. That's her solution, congestion pricing. She wants to force you to ride the subways by charging you $23 to drive into Manhattan, which is outrageous. And the only way we're going to stop that cash grab is to elect Lee Zeldin. So that is why I'm very much supporting Lee Zeldin. I hope people come out to vote for him. Very, very close race. We need every single vote. And my race, Nikol Meliotakis for Congress, the only Republican who represents New York City and Washington, and people who are listening, whether they're Republican, Independent, or a Democrat, they understand the need for a balance. And I'm the only Republican representing our city's interests in Washington, and that's going to be very important come next year. So I hope everyone will come out and vote for me and Lee Zeldin and all the other Republican candidates so we can restore a balance to our state and our country. Thank you.
Nicole, thank you very much. Good luck on November 8th, and we'll see you in the Congress. I'm sure about it.
All right. Thanks very much.
Wish you
Take care.
success.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.